Hey guys, welcome back to the channel Living the Dream. I'm Jim, and you can see in the background Mobile Bay, Alabama. We're going to do a campground review of Meaher State RV Campground in Spanish Fort, Alabama. And we So what you're looking at in the foreground there, that heavy amount of traffic, that's US 98. And some of the directions to get in here we'll talk about a little bit later, but they're not really accurate. So we'll go over in a little bit of detail what you should and shouldn't do if you don't want to get lost. So as you're coming straight ahead where that car is, you're going to see the sites right here that are maybe site 60, which is a pull-through site, almost like that little bit of a horseshoe maybe, or indent. And then site 59. And then that Fusion sitting up top there, that's Nick and Dorothy with their brand new 2026 Harley Davidson Road Glide. And off to our left, these sites are a little bit interesting. I'm not sure why, unless you're overnighting, you would book these. I'm not sure if there's any difference in price, but sites 60 through 2 through 108, they're all wide open spaces over here, right off that pavilion. And what I mean by that is not a lot of shade, and it kind of is right up against that US route. So that might be a little bit of a challenge for some folks. So Billy, Valerie, Marge, and I, we opted for a back-end site over here right on the bay. A little bit of a challenge with the trailer, but we were able to both jockey them in there with little or no problem. Nick and Dorothy, like you just saw, were the pull-through sites. Makes it a little easier, but we wanted some shade and we wanted a little bit of ambiance, obviously. If you're looking out there, you're looking at the twin spans for I-10. And this is pretty cool over here, which we have not taken advantage of yet, is this boardwalk, which brings you out to the bay. So just to orient you a little bit, I'm looking at site 6 right here, and across the way where the tent was site 7. Now the decals are on the pedestal and not a lot of lighting here, so if you come in after dark, you might want to have a flashlight or some way to illuminate that, because you might not be able to tell what site is which if it's not bright out. And here we have site 33. Pretty decent size as far as backing in, pretty easy to level, not that big a deal. And we're on site 35. Got a couple of neighbors to our right, and then you'll see some folks walking their fur baby and some trailers and RVs directly ahead of us, which is kind of on another loop. And then in that foreground down there, you see a couple of cabins. There is a boat launch off to our left here where that large parking lot is, where you see those cabins. And those are the folks that aren't in any shade at all. So as near as I can tell, there's a couple of disabled parking spots here for RVs, and they are walkway. Looks like it's hard blacktop, so it shouldn't be too easy to navigate, or too difficult rather to navigate. A little bit of dated on the building here, the washroom and the bathrooms. I mean, you can kind of see it in there. One thing that we found really interesting is that the laundry facilities was pretty inexpensive. I think it was like a couple of bucks for quite a bit of time, so really not too bad if you need to do some laundry. Well, that's it, folks. Meaher State Park, Spanish Fort, Alabama. We want to talk to you about the booking procedure. I'm going to fly the drone real quick. We didn't see any restrictions that said so. But booking wasn't too bad, was it?
I believe we had looked online, which you probably could book easily online, but we always call because we're concerned about the length and having enough room in the spots.
Well, the combination trailer, because you can never really understand some of the websites.
Well, yeah, some of them say that you only go by what your trailer is, and if it's a pull-through, a lot of them are like 60 or more feet, so there's no concern with a trailer. But we always like to call just to be sure, and they were great on the phone, really super friendly, very helpful.
Yeah, and one of the things I believe with this park, like Lake Livingston, Texas, was that they did not want anything on the lawn. And I think the overhang of the trailer was a part of that, wasn't it, because of mowing purposes?
Yeah, but they weren't as strict about it as some places. They simply ask you don't park on the lawn. The overhang, again, like Jim said, would be because they want to be able to mow.
Yeah, so one of the things that I talked about earlier in this video is the directions. If you're coming I-10 westbound and you get off at exit 35, my suggestion to you, because the directions were a little bit confusing with
a lot of
Google Maps,
confusing.
GPS, etc. So we just took that right-hand turn and we drove on a very large roadway down to US 31 / US 98. We took that left-hand turn heading west on US 98. And that brought us right to the entrance to the campground. So buyer beware. One of the things that's not in the video is the Falabellas and us had dinner at Felix's restaurant on US 98. And if you're into seafood for a decent price but fantastic service, I strongly recommend that. So we're going to end with this video, guys. Stay tuned for New Orleans, which will be next. We're going to do a couple of tours of the USS Alabama and the USS Drum. Which is right on Battleship Parkway here, just down from where the campground is. Anything to add?
No, just a really great place. We always say that. We always wish we could have stayed a little longer.
Yeah, need a little more time. All right, keep living the dream, y'all. We'll see you soon.